What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Davey's Analysis. And in this episode, we're going to VOD review Casqer and ClarityG. The reason I'm VOD reviewing them is because somebody's gun commented under my tweet on Twitter, and I tweeted out, "What duo should I VOD review from Surge Week?" Whoever gets the most likes under their reply, I will VOD that duo and make a video on them. And SBG, he is the winner, so we're going to VOD review the best game from Casqer and ClarityG. So the video isn't too long to see how they qualified to grand finals in Surge Week. ClarityG has been an underrated player for so long. He's been one of the best for so long, and I love VOD reviewing him, so I'm really excited about this. If you want to support me, make sure you use code Davey in the Fortnite item shop. You can go to the item shop right here and just type in Davey and then purchase whatever you want. So that would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and let's get right into the video, guys. Alright, so they land this split right next to Naughty Nets, and they're going to get guaranteed katanas. So the split is really good for that aspect, and they're going to be uncontested. The loot routes are a little bit long, but it's still a good, solid drop spot uncontested to have guaranteed katanas. Also, I was talking about how good ClarityG is, but we can't forget about Casqer. He's been extremely good IGL for a very long time, and I do have a VOD review video on him if you want to check that out as well. And I'm pretty sure I VODed ClarityG twice. I definitely know I VODed him once. So if you want to check out those videos, go ahead. Really good videos as well. Even though they are a little bit old, you still can learn something from them. So also, I didn't mention this in previous videos. I may have talked about it a little bit, but not just in finals lobbies you want to do this. You want to do this in probably everything you can do. Every game mode, every tournament. Make sure that your loot routes are as fast as possible. That you loot up the most efficiently in the fastest manner so that you can start rotating as early as possible. And you can practice this as much as you want. This involves like breaking certain trees and certain brick and all that stuff. Like, you want to have it all planned out to make sure that it's the fastest you can make it. Like, you can time it, practice it, and then utilize that loot route in a tournament. So I think a lot of people don't do this and need to start doing this. Like, a lot of players that are just like getting into competitive, that haven't been in the competitive scene for that long, they fail to do this, and making sure you save as much time as possible before rotating is really important. So right now, let's look at the loot. Casqer has pretty good loot and a 700 mats, and Clarity has like similar loot to him. Not too bad. And Storm is going to close in 10 seconds. And it is so hard to keep up with these zones. They keep changing. It's hard to even like predict how to play these new zones. But if you give it time, I'm sure more information will come out about these zones. Maybe Kinch will make an updated video. I remember he used to make really good zone videos about this. But alright, so we have 333, and right now Casqer and Clarity are meeting up here. So let's see where they decide to rotate together. Okay, right now they have really good mats, and now they're going to look for Surge on this team under them, potentially. They're going to set up base, make a little tower, so they have angles on Mega City, and they have angles on the team that's below them. And now they're going to start rotating as soon as the zone is revealed. Zones are so weird now. They're going to use that extra keg they had from before. It's great that they remember that was here so that they don't have to burn any of their heals after taking damage, trying to trade for Surge. Now let's see how far they're going to rotate in. Okay, there's a team at their old building, and one of them is going to get cracked. So that's really good Surge right there. Now they're going to katana away. I think Clarity just found more heals as well, so that's really good. So he only lost a big pot out of that trade. Definitely think it was worth that. Of course, he's down 50 shield, but definitely worth the Surge. They're going to pop some slaps. That's really good. To get their shield up, to get them moving quick. Got a big base over there they're going to try to avoid. I like Clarity going in this bush. It's going to help him get Surge. Then you have Casqer looking in this wooden box. So everything they're doing right now is pretty good. If you're wondering why they're stopped right now and not trying to get deeper in the circle, is because they can't. They will lose all of their heals, all their life, if they continue to try and rotate when there's 2 towers set up right around them. So I think it's good to be patient here, play for surge, play to hold some kids, and then rotate when they can. So when the towers start rotating, they need to rotate right after. So we have Wavy Jacob going right now. They're going to follow them. They waste no time, which is perfect. Having your builds out. A lot of people don't do that. Just having your builds out will help you place the walls faster. Doing that in a set lobby when it's this laggy is really good too. Great damage from Clarity. There's extra minis here. He won't lose anything and get surge tags out of that. So that's great. And then look, we have a chest over here. I'm pretty sure we have one of the coolers. They're doing great on surge. I love how they're using these bushes. They probably have some rotates planned out where they know they can play for surge with the bushes that are already there. So that's really good. They're doing great on surge. And they've been winning their trades, which is really important too. I want you to look at their heals. They had to go all the way up here. Right above Naughty is where they landed. And now I want you to look at their heals. 6 minis, 6 chugs. 4 minis, 2 bigs. Doesn't get better than that. And they've been using a lot of shield potions they've been finding on the ground while they're rotating as well. Really good. And then they force some trades once they know they have extra heals to do so. Then they're going to box up right here on this brick refarm. This is great. Obviously, they're not going to try and keep rotating towards Wavy Jacob. They're just going to get lit up. And Casqer with the double dink finds a really good rotating path using LOS, but makes a mistake by a big giant mountain team behind them. Gets fried. I guess he was being a little bit impatient with that. I like this path, but I think this is fine as long as he builds, burns some brick, refarms, and this is a good rotate. He could have kept going. I think that was the problem. I think the idea was smart, not building wasn't. Now he doesn't have a lot of vision on how he can rotate this. He doesn't have vision on if teams are going. So he's just going to run around and scout. And then he's just going to assume teams left in front of him. It works out in his favor. Goes to this little brick refarm. Thank God they fixed the brick. Then we have Clarity going ahead, finding a spot to box. And right now, they're in front of all this congestion that still has to rotate in. So I like how early they went as well. Now they can just get more tags. I love how they're in 2 different areas. One's refarming, getting some heals. The other one's getting surge. You want to make sure that you never have 2 people farming and 2 people trying to look for heals. Always have that one person looking for surge if you're going to make this play. So Clary's going to get focused a little bit by this one team that finds out he's a solo, and he's going to immediately run to his duo. I like that. I don't like taking any chances there, just staying by yourself and then getting lobbied. I think that was really smart. Now the zone is revealed. They're going to go instantly because no one can hold them in front. He's going to get lasered in the back, which is unfortunate, but I still like going early here. Now there is teams in front of them. I think they're going to try to go in just a little bit. Oh, they find a clear path up this iceberg hill. Edward and Saucy, they claim that building and just start boxing on it to refarm. They're not focused on Clarity and Casqer, and this is the only team that can hold them. So they're going to go around them in this direction on this hill, and this is a god position. Clarity's going to stay on one side, Casqer is going to stay on the top side, and now they have a perfect surge hill and can hold so many teams. Also, it's going to make rotating to the next zone even easier because they have so much vision. Casqer's going to throw Clarity some heals. Heals are a little bit of a concern. The 5 chugs is really nice, but Their minis are getting low, and they have no more bigs. But, I mean, I think these heals are amazing considering how far they had to rotate. And this is their best game, which is insane. The rotates have been perfect. Other than just getting beamed that one rotate from not building, I really like what I've been seeing. Clarity is getting targeted a little bit, and he's going to get back to Casqer to chug. I like that. I think that's smart because they need to figure out this rotate. And wow, they get the worst zone ever. If they didn't have these katanas, they are dead. Because the amount of mats and the amount of times they would have gotten tagged up and the amount of distance they had to travel without these katanas, it would be wraps. And this is the worst zone you could possibly get because it pulls towards all the congestion from practically more than half the lobby. So no one can hold them. They're going to katana in. Then they're going to box up on this little refarm. And they're barely in. But I don't see them getting any deeper. So there's a little fight going on right now. Looking for tags there. Casqer is looking for tags and Clarity's refarming. Looking for tags on the kids that have to rotate in. I like the decision making though. They didn't hesitate. They just went. They saw no one can hold them. They went. I love how quick they are to rotate so that they don't have to be these teams that are getting held. The rotates have been really good. And now they pull, finally, a pretty decent zone. So they can chill, rotate in late. They might have to elevate because teams are already in front of them. And get tags. I like what I'm seeing. It's really good. These rotates are extremely impressive, but the moral of the story is katanas help out a lot when you have to travel long distance. Their heals are really good for having to travel so far. But I think Casqer has been extremely smart. And there's a lot to learn from. If no one can hold you, go. If someone can hold you, wait for them to go. And then when they go, go instantly. And I love that play for that hill. That was really smart. Wow, this next zone is awful, but I think the play here is to katana when everyone else is distracted, but make sure you katana where Scoped and Mason and Qua and Jack cannot target you. That's what I would think if I'm Casqer right now looking out on how to rotate this. Everyone else is busy and distracted on their own rotate, and the high ground teams cannot hit us. So I'm excited to see how they're going to rotate this. Okay, so Jack and Qua focused on their own rotate, or they're getting just like shit on, one or the other. But Mason and Scoped aren't targeting them right now, and they went left. And this kind of messes up Scoped and Mason's vision. So I think this is good. I think it's a good decision. I think if they would have went like white, if they would have went to the right a bit, they would have gotten targeted by Mason and Scoped. But these katanas really help. They're just gonna katana, box, and then get ready to rotate again. They also katana when other teams are katana-ing. Elevate a bit here. And now we both have 500 mats each. Considering how far we had to go, decent mats. But it is a set lobby, so these are good mats compared to probably what the other teams have. So now we're getting into endgame finally. And we have our first moving here. So I think the play is conserve mats, katana, box, and just keep doing the same thing, repeat. I wouldn't go for height whatsoever unless you make some power play on a kid that's AFK. Other than that, I think you just play, yeah, basically they get 4th place this game, and it makes sense. Katana, box, and do it until you're dead. So I literally think that's the play here. But all in all, the rotates were perfect. For them to have these mats, how far they had to go. And I don't think they got any refreshes. I think this kill was just an AR kill, and I will go back to it. We're gonna katana up, stay on a high layer. Ooh, we're gonna get shot out probably by ODM gear. Now we're gonna make a play on Mason and Scoped. Congrats, Mason, for qualifying the Grands. I'm really happy about that. It's been my guy for a minute. Alright, so mats are getting low. I think we hit Mason really hard here, and it pulls back up, I'm pretty sure. They're gonna katana up really high. Land. Casqer is gonna go ultimate low ground on this second moving. We're definitely gonna have to keep that in mind. And why do they do this? You may be wondering. Because they have no mats. If they stay elevated with no mats, what's gonna happen? They're gonna get sprayed down, they're gonna get killed. Where's the best place to get kills when you have no mats and you need to instantly get a kill as soon as possible at low ground? So that's why they did that. And they established a little bit of space area to get kills. I think that's the best thing they can do in this situation with no mats. So really good. We're gonna do a little tack sprint on dead side while no one's paying attention. Beautiful. They saved mats and they rotated. They're focusing on that solo right now. They're gonna refarm that tree. They could refarm that brick. I think that would be smart. It pulls back. They waited for zone. I love that. I love how they didn't panic run out there. I love how they didn't panic farm that brick. They were aware that they're in zone. They waited for the next zone. They pulled a good zone. Now they're going to farm the brick. They're being extremely patient. And they're not panicking. Even when they have nothing. I really like it. Okay, so it looks like we found a solo. Casqer is aware that this is a solo. Great job finding him. They jump in his box together. Snake is going to take out Casqer. And then Clarity gets the trade. I mean, they needed a refresh. They needed a desperate play to do that. I don't think it's dumb. I think they did the right thing. Let's see if there's anything that could have been done smarter by them. I'm thinking if they both go in at different angles at the same time, it could have caused like a lot more confusion for Snake and he probably would have died. Oh, Casqer was a little bit lost, couldn't find him. Snake was probably above him. Clarity gets the kill. Now let's see Clarity clutch up from 13th to 4th. Clarity has such good mechs as well. Burned a lot of mats there, but he's trying to get in zone. I think those mats burning was necessary so he didn't get killed. Love how he waited for zone to see where it went. It pulls back. He had whites to tank it. Now he's going to just try and stay ahead, look for a kill. Hits a kid 100, drops down because he has a duo. Edits that stair. He doesn't want to get involved with those duos on low. Love how even though he probably needs a kill, he's not being too greedy for one. Just going to play his med kit to clutch up some placement. Top 7. Gets the med kit off. Looking for a kill in Storm with his whites. Gets a kill with the mantelpiece. Gets the finish for the elim points. Gets a little bit of siphon mats off that. He knows there's a duo on low. I think he could probably... He's playing a med kit. I think he could have timed that way better, but I guess he just wanted to be super safe. Now he's got to fight to get in zone. Runs in the zone. He is struggling because he's in a tree right now. Burns all his mats. And drops down. Doesn't know there's a kid behind him and dies. It gets 4th place. So when you don't have a lot of mats, you haven't gotten that refresh you needed, but you have a little bit to work with, drop on low ground. Where else are you going to get kills? You're not going to get kills second height. It's so much easier to get kills on low ground when you need kills. So it's like a desperate measure. You drop on low, give yourself some space to work with, some room to work with, and try and get that kill that you need. They couldn't really find it they found solos, but they would just run away. And then finally they find that one solo, but they don't approach jumping in on that solo correctly, in my opinion. So that solo does take one out, and then Clarity has an amazing clutch. I love their patience though. Just because they're not fully in zone, or just because uh they know they're not gonna make zone because they don't have the mats to do so, they wait. And when the zone pulls back, they didn't even have to move. I think that patience and not panicking is really smart, and it's something that I definitely needed to work on when I used to play. Because I would be like, all right, we gotta get in, even though we had nothing. Just wait, bro. Just sit and storm. You have whites. So they're very poised, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and learned a lot. So make sure you like, comment down below, use code Davey in the Fortnite item shop, and until the next one, guys, peace.